friends, today I'm going to show you how to do a paper weaving using a loom that is also made out of paper. So we're going to take this sheet here, we're going to fold it in half. I'm going to take my corners and match them up as nice and neatly as I can. Then I just run my fingers along the edge. If you have fingernails, you can use your fingernails. Okay, it should have a nice crease in it, but I'm going to keep it folded for this next portion. So I'm going to give myself some lines. These lines I'm actually going to use as a guide to cut. So I'm going to put 7 lines on this particular project. We're going to be using this as a basket. That's why we're using the dark brown and the light brown, so it'll look like the natural colors of a woven basket. You might have a basket at your house that looks like it was woven like this. I have a basket at my house that looks like this, and also a little trash can that looks kind of like that too for the bathroom. All right, when I use my scissors, I'm going to put my little finger or my thumb in the little hole. I'm going to put the rest of my fingers in the big hole. You can also let your pinky hang out. But I'm going to open up Mr. Scissors' mouth. This is really important. You don't want to cut up here where it's open. You want to cut on the white line, and I used a white pencil so that we could see it more easily. The gray pencil, the lead pencil probably wouldn't show up as good. I'm going to open up the scissors and I put them on the fold. So make sure that Mr. Scissors eats the fold first. So you're going to put your scissors on the fold and you're going to cut as nice and neatly as you can going up to the end of that line. But don't go past this line, because if I do that, I'm just going to chop this piece off. So I want to open up the scissors and close, open and close, open and close. You want to get all the way up to the end too, because if you stop like right here, your strips aren't going to be able to go in. So you need to make sure that you get all the way up to the end of that white line. All the way up. All right, so now I'm going to open this up. So after I've cut, I'm going to open it up. It already looks kind of cool like this. And now I'm going to focus on the weaving portion. So for the weaving portion, the first strip is pretty simple. The second strip is kind of what trips people up sometimes. All right, I already cut these strips and they're the same width as our paper. This is 6 inches by 8 inches, so it's a little bit longer this way. All right, so weaving, you're going to be weaving, and it's a pattern. It's always a pattern of over one strip, under one strip, over, under. And this right here, I'm just going to write it on the back of the paper so you can see. This is called my loom. If I was weaving with yarn or thread or fabric, I might weave on a loom that has strings attached to it, or yarns attached to it, or threads attached to it. But this is my loom. And these strips are called the weft strips. They're going to go from left to right. I like to remember that. The weft strips, they go from left to right. Weft and left rhyme. And then these are your warp strips. Your warp strips go up and down, okay? All right, so I'm going to take my little strip here. I'm going to go over this first one. It doesn't matter. You could do under or you could do over. But I'm going to start with over. Then I go under this next, over. Then I'm going to go under, over, and under. And then I'm going to slide this up as high as I can possibly get it. All the way up as high as I can. All right, so I've got a strip that's going over on my first strip. I have to do the opposite on the next strip. You can see right here, the dark brown is on the top. So now I'm going to take my next strip and I'm going to go under. So I went over, now I'm going under, over, under, now what do you guys think? Do you think this looks nice? Okay, can you see where I made the mistake? Maybe you can. All right, so where do you think that the mistake might be? See if you can point to it. Okay, right here. All right, so we have these 2 little strips here. I don't need those 2 strips. I don't need to go over those 2 strips. I need to only go over this one. So under, over, over. Then I pick this one up and I go under, then over, then over. All right, so now I'm going to slide this up. Slide it up. All right, so I've got my first strip and my second strip. It should look like a checkerboard. You should never have a tan shape on top of a tan shape. They should always be diagonal to each other. So it's just like a checkerboard. So I went over with the tan, under with the tan. Now what do I need to do? Do I need to go over or do I need to go under? If I go under, here's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be really easy for me to get the strip through, and it's gonna look the same, okay? That is not a checkerboard look, okay? I'm trying to make my pattern correct, so I'm gonna go over this first strip. And you might make a mistake, and that's okay. But the good thing about this is it's just paper. We're not even gluing it down. We're not painting on it, we're not drawing on it, it's just paper. All right, so I'm gonna move that one through, get it nice and even lined up, and then I push it up. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on this next row, but should I go over or under? Under, so that the dark brown can show. You basically just change what you do on each row. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna slide this up. I'm gonna get them as tight as I possibly can. And hopefully I can fit 6 strips in there like I did on this one. All right, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. All right, then I'm gonna slide this up, okay? Now, I might be able to fit one more strip in here. So this is gonna be the tightest strip and the hardest one to do, but this is what's gonna lock everything in place and keep it from wobbling. So the tan is on top, now the tan is gonna go on the bottom. Under and over, okay? Under, you might have to pretend like it's a little snake crawling through slowly. Over, sometimes you can pick it up like this and then push it under. Over and under. Let's say one of your lines isn't letting you come through because it's not long enough. You can also take your scissors like this and you can make it a little bit longer. But you don't want to do that too much or your weft strips will be loose. The ones that go from left to right. All right, there we go. All right, so now they're pretty tight. I don't even need glue. If your weaving is done properly, it should really hold itself in there. So now I'm gonna even these out a little bit. And this will be the front of my basket because it says loom on the back and I don't want that to show in my final artwork. So now I have my basket, my weaving ready to go.